Nadia, along with her husband and their 2 young children, had recently embarked on an exciting journey of settling into their brand new apartment in Ichuan. This transition marked a significant turning point in their lives, as they bid farewell to several years of cohabiting with her in-laws and embraced the joys of having a place to call their own. Their newfound abode nestled within a tranquil and serene neighborhood, one that embraced them with a sense of peace that was genuinely heartwarming. Ichuan, with its picturesque surroundings and friendly atmosphere, became the perfect backdrop for the blossoming chapter in their lives. For Nadia, the daily experience of living in this delightful enclave was a source of pure contentment. The opportunity to strike up conversations with her amiable neighbors was a cherished aspect of her day. As she strolled through the leafy streets, it was common for her to exchange warm greetings and anecdotes with fellow residents. These interactions not only brought her closer to her new community but also added a layer of warmth to her daily routine. Nadia's heart brimmed with gratitude, for in Ichuan, she had found not just a new residence, but a welcoming haven where she could build a brighter future with her family. One ordinary day, a gentle knock echoed through her wooden door. The sound was soft, but it roused her curiosity. With a sense of intrigue, she swung the door open to reveal an elderly woman, a faint, warm smile gracing her face. In her weathered hands, she cradled a basket, brimming with a delightful assortment of crackers and snacks. The scents wafting from the basket hinted at their homemade origin, evoking a sense of nostalgia. The old woman's eyes sparkled with kindness as she greeted her in Malay, her words flowing like a melodious river. "Assalamu alaikum, my dear," she began, her voice soothing and welcoming. "I'm selling some homemade Keropok and K. Would you like to buy some? They are incredibly delicious and surprisingly affordable." Her heartwarming words were accompanied by an inviting gesture toward the basket, unveiling the culinary treasures hidden within. Keropok and K, cherished Malay delicacies, were carefully prepared by the old lady, carrying with them a legacy of tradition and taste. Their tempting aroma hung in the air, an irresistible invitation to savor the flavors of her culture. Staring at the offerings, Nadia felt a connection, a bridge to a culinary journey she had yet to embark on. The simplicity of the moment, the elderly woman's hospitality, and the promise of scrumptious delights left her contemplating the shared experiences and bonds that food can forge. Nadia's heart skipped a beat as she gazed upon the elderly woman before her. The face bore a haunting familiarity, like a long-lost memory that danced on the edges of her consciousness. Try as she might, she couldn't quite pinpoint the origin of that recognition, but a sense of intrigue and curiosity enveloped her. The old lady, standing there with a kind, yet weathered countenance, tugged at the strings of Nadia's empathy. The years etched deeply into her features revealed a life marked by experiences, some undoubtedly filled with joys, but likely also bearing the weight of trials and tribulations. A profound pang of pity swelled within Nadia as she observed the frailty and fatigue etched in the lines of the old woman's face. In that poignant moment, empathy overtook her, and a decision bloomed from the compassion that flowed within her. A desire to make a difference in the old lady's day, to provide some form of support, welled up inside her. With a heartwarming smile, she resolved to purchase a selection of snacks from the elderly woman. Her choice wasn't solely an act of commerce but an act of kindness. It was a testament to her belief in supporting local businesses, as she recognized that behind every product lay a story, a livelihood, and the shared tapestry of a community. In this simple exchange, she wove threads of connection, bridging the gap between generations and cultures, leaving both herself and the old lady with a sense of warmth and unity. "Of course, why not? Let me take a look," Nadia responded warmly, stepping out of her doorway and directing her attention to the basket cradled in the old lady's hands. With a gentle flourish, the elderly woman unveiled a tempting array of Malay delicacies, each more enticing than the last. They glistened with a promise of homemade perfection, their fragrances conjuring nostalgia and a sense of tradition. Nadia's gaze wandered appreciatively across the selection, eventually settling on her choices: packets of Keropok udang, the prawn crackers that brought a savory delight, Keropok ikan, fish crackers boasting a unique and crunchy texture, K lapis, the multi-layered cake that was both a visual marvel and a culinary treasure, and K banquet, the coconut cookies that whispered of sweet nostalgia. With a smile that conveyed her delight, Nadia reached for her wallet and handed the old lady $10 in exchange for her chosen snacks. Gratitude swelled in her heart as she thanked the elderly vendor for her offerings. It was a simple exchange of goods and money, but it held a deeper significance. In that moment, Nadia felt she had not just bought snacks, she had invested in a connection that transcended monetary value. She had supported a local business and, more importantly, shown kindness to a fellow human being. "Thank you for buying from me, my dear. You are very kind and generous. May Allah bless you and your family." The old lady blessed her with heartfelt words as she handed over the packets. The sentiment lingered in the air, weaving a sense of unity between them that transcended mere commerce. Nadia reciprocated the warm wishes with a genuine smile and was about to close her door, content with her purchase and the shared moment. However, the old lady's sudden halt caught her by surprise. She paused, her hand resting on the doorknob, turning her attention back to the elderly woman. "Can I ask you something, my dear?" the old lady inquired in a soft, almost secretive tone, her eyes carrying an intensity that seemed to peer into the depths of Nadia's soul. Nadia was taken aback by the unexpected question but maintained her composure. "Of course, what's on your mind?" she replied, curiosity piqued, eager to oblige the inquisitive elder. The old lady hesitated for a moment, her gaze unwavering. "Do you have any children?" she finally asked, as if the query held a deeper significance than its surface implication. A shiver of dread coursed down Nadia's spine, and the memory snapped into focus. The old lady who had appeared at her doorstep, her face hauntingly familiar, had been etched into her mind from a viral Facebook post. The post had warned about Nenek Keropok, a notorious child kidnapper who used a facade of selling snacks to lure unsuspecting parents into her sinister grasp. She'd heard the stories. Nenek Keropok, in cahoots with a Pontianak, a vengeful female vampire ghost, terrorized families, abducting their children under the pretense of selling homemade treats. Fear gripped Nadia, and panic surged through her veins as the realization hit her like a tidal wave. She had unwittingly opened her door to Nenek Keropok herself. An overwhelming sense of dread washed over her, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew she'd made a grave mistake by letting the old lady into her world, even if just for a brief moment. In sheer panic, Nadia slammed the door shut and bolted it securely, locking herself and her family inside. She rushed to the living room, where her husband and children were engrossed in a television show, oblivious to the unfolding chaos. "Honey, we have to get out of here. Now." Nadia's voice trembled with terror as she snatched her phone and keys, her eyes filled with frantic urgency. Her husband, alarmed by her abrupt outburst, met her eyes with concern. "What's wrong? What happened?" he inquired, bewildered by the sudden upheaval. "It's Nenek Keropok. She's right outside our door. She's trying to take our kids." Nadia blurted out, her words tumbling out like desperate pleas, as she hurriedly ushered her husband and children toward the exit. Her husband's skepticism hung in the air, but he didn't have the luxury of time for a debate. He followed his wife, concern a shiver of dread coursed down Nadia's spine as they neared the memory door. Snapped into focus. Peeking outside cautiously, the old lady who had appeared at her doorstep, her face hauntingly familiar, and he hoped it was merely a misunderstanding, dismissing his wife's fears as an overreaction. The post had warned about Nenek Keropok, a notorious child kidnapper. It's probably just a facade of selling snacks. Maybe she's just a harmless old lady who sells snacks. He tried to soothe her, seeking to quell her rising panic. In cahoots with Nadia, however, a vengeful female vampire ghost, she was convinced of the impending danger. Their children under the pretense of selling homemade treats. You don't understand. Fear gripped Nadia. She asked me if we had any children. Through her veins. That's what she does before she takes them away. Like a tidal wave. We have to go now. She had unwittingly opened her door to Nenek as she nudged her husband out of the door, an overwhelming sense of dread washed over her heart pounding in her chest. "Let's go." She knew she'd made a grave mistake by letting the old lady into her world. Fear had begun to worm its way into his heart. In sheer panic, Nadia slammed the door shut and bolted it securely, they swiftly moved down the stairs, and her family aiming to reach their car. She rushed to the living room, where her husband and children were engrossed in a neighboring block of flats oblivious to the unfolding chaos. A window on the 5th floor remained ajar. "We have to get out of here." Glowing, malevolent red eyes peered out from the darkness as she snatched her phone at the fleeing family. Her eyes filled with frantic urgency. A malevolent entity, her husband, ready alarmed to strike. By her abrupt outburst, the family descended her eyes with concern, fear propelling their every step. "What happened?" Nadia clung tightly to her children by the sudden reached the ground floor. "It's Nenek, her husband leading the way. She's right outside our door." They burst out of the apartment complex. "She's trying to take our dwindling daylight." Nadia blurted out, her words tumbling out like desperate pleas. As she hurriedly ushered her husband and children toward the exit, the setting sun casting elongated shadows in the air over the streets of Ishuan. But he didn't have the luxury of time for a debate. Nadia scanned the surroundings, he followed his wife, still on edge, concern and searching for any sign of the old lady as they neared the front door. Peeking outside cautiously, just a few meters from the entrance, a symbol of anyone else. The
and he
family
hoped it was
scrambled
merely
into
a
the vehicle,
misunderstanding,
their hearts
dismissing
racing,
his wife's
and Nadia's
fears as an
husband locked the
overreaction.
doors as a
"See?
safety measure.
There's no one there.
We're safe now,
It's probably
sweetheart.
just a
Let's
misunderstanding.
drive away from here."
Maybe she's
he
just a
urged,
harmless
his
old lady
tone a
who
mix
sells
of reassurance
snacks.
and
He
worry.
tried to soothe her,
Nadia nodded,
seeking to
her
quell
eyes
her rising
flicking
panic.
anxiously from side
Nadia,
to side,
however,
and her husband
refused to
started
be
the
pacified.
engine. The car
She was
sped
convinced
away,
of the
leaving
impending
behind
danger,
their new flat
and the
no,
bone-chilling
no,
encounter
no.
that had
You don't
threatened to shatter their
understand.
peace.
She asked
In
me
the
if we
hours
had
that
any children.
followed, they found
That's what she
refuge
does
at a
before
nearby
she
shopping
takes them away.
complex,
We have
dining
to go
on
now.
fast food.
Her desperation
Convinced they
was
had
palpable
narrowly
as she
escaped a
nudged her
perilous
husband
fate.
out of the door.
Nadia couldn't
leaving
dispel the
behind their
memory of the old
skepticism and
lady's
doubts.
intense stare
All
and the
right,
dreadful
all
stories
right,
surrounding
let's go.
Nenek Keropok.
Then, her husband relented,
despite
his voice
initial
resigned.
skepticism.
Fear had
Couldn't
begun to
ignore the
worm
eerie
its way into his
coincidences
heart,
that had
and he couldn't
unfolded
ignore
before
them.
them.
Wife's genuine
Finally,
concern.
the time came
Together,
to return
they
home,
swiftly
but
moved
the
down the
unease still
stairs,
clung to them
aiming
like
to
a
reach
shadow.
their car,
They
parked in the
double-checked all
complex's
doors and
parking lot.
windows,
Ensuring
ensuring
they
they
were
were
securely
in a
locked.
neighboring block
As
of
they
flats
moved into the
across the
kitchen,
way.
a
They
window
spotted
on
the
the
crackers
floor
and case
remained
that Nadia
ajar,
had purchased
glowing,
earlier.
malevolent
But as they
red
began
eyes
to
peered
prepare
out
the
from the
snacks for
darkness,
consumption,
gazing
they
hungrily
discovered
at
a
the fleeing
horrifying
family.
sight. The
It
treats
was
were
the
crawling with
Pontianak,
maggots.
a malevolent
Without
entity,
a moment's
ready to
hesitation,
strike.
Nadia's
The family
husband
descended the
volunteered to
staircase,
dispose of the
fear propelling
contaminated
their every
snacks.
step.
He
Nadia
swiftly
clung
cleaned up the
tightly to
kitchen
her
counter
children
as they
making
reached the
his way
ground
to the
floor,
nearby
her
rubbish
husband
chute,
leading the
located
way.
on the same
They
floor,
burst out of the
shared by
apartment
all the
complex
residents.
into the dwindling
After
daylight,
disposing of the
leaving their new
contaminated
flat
treats
and
and
the
unsettling
unsettling encounter
home,
behind.
a voice beckoned him
Outside,
from the staircase
the calm evening
beside the
stretched
lift.
before them.
He turned,
the setting sun
and his eyes
casting
met a chilling
elongated
sight.
shadows over the
Emerging
streets of
from the
Ishuan.
darkness was a
Breathing
figure
heavily,
entirely shrouded
Nadia
in
scanned the
black,
surroundings,
its hair unkempt,
still on
its
edge,
clothes in
searching
tatters,
for any
and its
sign of the
skin
old
as dark
lady
as
or the
coal.
ominous
Its eyes,
Pontianak.
however,
Their car
glowed with
stood
an
just
eerie
a few
red
meters
hue,
from the
filled with
entrance,
hunger
a
and
symbol of
malice.
escape.
The family
Pontianak
scrambled
had come
into
for
the
him,
vehicle,
terrified,
their hearts racing,
Nadia's husband
and Nadia's
bolted for their
husband locked the
apartment,
doors
his
as a
voice
safety
carrying
measure.
his terror
"We're
as he
safe
yelled
now,
for Nadia
sweetheart.
to open the door.
Let's drive away
Gasping
from
for
here,"
breath,
he
made it
urged,
inside
his
just
tone
in
a mix
time.
of reassurance
Nadia
and
acted
worry.
quickly,
Nadia
playing
nodded,
Quranic
her eyes
recitation
flicking
on their
anxiously from
CD
side to
player
side,
and securing
and her
all
husband
entrances.
started the engine.
For now,
The car
they were
sped
safe,
away,
leaving
weeks
behind their
turned
new
into
flat
months,
and
and
the
the family
bone-chilling
gradually
encounter that had
reestablished
threatened
a
to shatter
semblance
their
of
peace.
normalcy.
In the
They moved
hours that
cautiously,
followed,
wary
they
of
found
unexpected
refuge at a nearby
visitors and
shopping
shared
complex,
cautionary tales
dining on
with
fast
neighbors.
food.
The children
Convinced they had
continued to
narrowly
play with
escaped a
friends,
perilous
though
fate,
Nadia watched
Nadia
them with
couldn't
vigilant
dispel the
eyes.
memory of the old
Despite
lady's
the passing
intense stare
time,
and
the
the
memory
dreadful
of the
stories
sinister
surrounding
old lady
Nenek
and the
Keropok.
menacing
Her
Pontianak
husband,
still haunted
despite
their
initial
thoughts.
skepticism,
The family had
couldn't
learned a
ignore the
valuable
eerie
lesson,
coincidences
one that
had
brought them
unfolded
face to
before them.
face with the
Finally,
supernatural
the time
and
came
changed
to
their
return
lives
home,
forever.
but the unease
Prompt,
still clung to
generate
them
a
like a
gripping
shadow.
image capturing
They
the chilling
double-checked
scene
all
when
doors
Nadia
and
and her
windows,
family,
ensuring
gripped
they were
by
securely
fear,
locked.
flee their apartment
As they
building
moved into
to
the
escape
kitchen,
the sinister
they
clutches
spotted the
of Nenek
crackers and
Keropok
case that
and the
Nadia had
Pontianak.
purchased earlier.
The image
But as
should
they began
depict
to
the family
prepare the
rushing
snacks
down
for
the dimly lit
consumption,
stairwell,
they discovered a
panic
horrifying
etched on their
sight.
faces,
The treats were
with
crawling
Nadia
with maggots.
clutching her children
Without a
closely
moment's
and her husband
hesitation,
leading the way.
Nadia's
They
husband
burst out of the
volunteered to
entrance
dispose
into the
of the
fading
contaminated
daylight,
snacks.
their car just
He
meters
swiftly
away,
cleaned up the
symbolizing
kitchen
their
counter,
lifeline to
making his
safety.
way to the nearby
The
rubbish
Pontianak,
chute, with its
located
tattered
on the
black
same
figure
floor,
and ominous
shared by
red
all the
eyes,
residents.
should loom ominously
After
in the
disposing
background,
of the contaminated
casting an aura
treats
of
and on his way
malevolence
back
and
home,
imminent danger
a voice
over the
beckoned
scene.
him from the
The fading
staircase
sun
beside
should
the
cast
lift.
long shadows,
He turned,
emphasizing
and his eyes
the
met a
urgency
chilling
of their
sight.
escape and
Emerging
the surreal,
from the dark
supernatural threat they have encountered.